Hello. This video is being recorded to provide you with a quick overview of the four documents that I have included for your reading and review as part of the sub-theme Understanding Smart Cities being presented as part of the overall Smart City module. So in this area, understanding smart cities, I've put up four pieces. There are three academic articles and a presentation that I made a few years ago. So what I want to do is give you a quick introduction to each of those four, tell you a little bit about why I selected them, and then set you off to read them. So the first one, the Sharabi et al. Article. This article came out of a group of people that came together with funding from the Social Science Humanities Research Council of Canada. That group emerged from a team of us who had been working for some time looking at issues related to North American digital government. We had come together through a National Science Foundation funded project, and we're looking at comparative work across the three countries, and then also projects that related to things that were happening with all three of the countries working together. But from this comparative work, we began to realize the importance of the cities that were in place in the three countries of the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And so we began to realize that not only were we paying attention to this emerging importance of cities in the global economy and as the home of so many social and economic processes. So we began to work as a team to think about smart cities. What is it that we mean? How are people using this phrase? What is known about what people are doing with respect to research and practice? And so we approached the Social Science Humanities Research Council of Canada, and we're able to get funding for a team to begin to build a framework, a tool, a way of helping people understand how the phrase smart cities is being used, and then ultimately, as it turns out, to help governments themselves be sure that they are understanding each other and those that they work with when they think about smart cities. And so the smart cities, Sharabi, the conceptual framework, is a critical, well, maybe important is a better word. It's an important part of the smart cities conversation, and I look forward to hearing your comments on it. The second article, the Meyer Bolivar article, is actually very similar to the Sharabi article in that it is trying to, it's an early article in the conversation, and the focus is to build definitional clarity, very much like the Sharabi article in the sense that we're trying to get conceptual clarity. How are people using the phrase? What are the differences in the way they are using it? And Bolivar adds into that conversation, I think, some new facets in the sense of trying to take a look at urban innovation, urban governance within the context of e-governance. And I think this is a really interesting and important piece of work. And I think it makes a good contribution to the smart cities conversation, in particular, helping you understand how people are thinking about and talking about issues such as context and innovation. The fourth article is one that, again, I also am a co-author of, like the Sharabi article. This article came out of a doctoral dissertation, Tae-Woo Nam, who is a PhD student here at Albany and PAD. And Tae-Woo and I looked at, as part of the Sharabi project, or as part of the Smart Cities project funded by SSHRC that generated the Sharabi article, we focused on smart cities as an urban innovation. And again, our interest was very much focused on the issues of context, understanding the process of becoming smarter in multiple contexts around the world. And so we began to try to fill the gap related to discussing innovation as a management policy and technology interdependent processes of policy management technology, and then looking at how those interdependencies, the way they play out, varies depending on context. And so we're very, very interested in building understanding of what matters within a particular city's context, environment. What are the characteristics of a particular city? They make it more likely, more able to engage in urban innovation. These are really important questions, right? So if we think about Shirabi, we think about Meyer, and we think about Nam and Pardo. These are three ways of thinking about and looking at the research context of smart cities. The last piece is just a PowerPoint presentation. A few years ago, I was asked to provide a keynote during the Smart Cities workshop at HICS, the Hawaiian International Conference on System Sciences. And so I put together this keynote. Keep in mind, it's a keynote. It's not a research presentation, so it doesn't have a lot of detail. It doesn't get into deep theoretical discussions, but I thought you might enjoy it, and we could potentially use it to draw on in the discussion responses that you provide. Thank you.